All right, we're back. IntermedioRecaps. April 27th. We got 3 games to go over. Josh is here. He's going to say Timbit because that's what Canadians do.
Yeah, because this is not called an intermedio recap. This is called an intimideo recap.
Of course, a Canadian would say that. All right.
Yeah, because I'm from an actual normal country that's not obsessed with guns.
All right. So we'll start with New Jersey's, and then we'll head to Toronto, and then we'll finish up with Vegas. Because one of the 6 teams we're about to talk about is no longer in the playoffs. And we were hoping it was the Tampa Bay Lightning, but we'll get to that soon.
And a spoiler alert, one of the fans of that team that is not in the playoffs anymore has to lick a carpet.
Nice job, Jesse.
Yep.
So let's start out with New Jersey. Well, the New York Rangers blew a 2-0 series lead, and now they head back to New York, down 3-2 in their series.
The New Jersey Devils. They don't head back to New York. They were already in New York. They are blowing a series where 5 of 5 games were at home, and this is just embarrassing.
New Jersey shuts them out 4-0, and Igor Shesterkin was very pissy at his team.
Why are you so pissy, Igor?
Because he just blew 2-0 series lead. Palat cashes in. That's the only goal for the first. Hala and Mercer get 2 in the second, and Hala gets his second of the night in the third, and that's all she wrote. We didn't really watch it because we had a more important game to get to, but it was pretty. Akira Schmidt gets his first career shutout, I believe. Oh, it's got to be his first career playoff shutout. He's been amazing for New Jersey, and obviously he's probably going to start Game 6. He's not going to pull a Minnesota and start Fleury, hopefully.
Yeah, and that's the reason they're not in the second round yet.
Yeah.
The Wild, by that I mean.
Yeah, they have to win tomorrow, which we'll get to that. We'll do a quick little preview because I said we were going to do previews for the next game. But so move on to the probably the most important game tonight was the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa, of course, forces Game 6 in Tampa Saturday night, or as we're recording this tomorrow night because it is midnight for me and it is 1 in the morning for Mr. Timbit.
You are Mr. Timbit because you
Timbit
started
boy.
this entire thing. I'm not going to do
You're
this.
Mr. Timbit. I'm Timbit boy.
Oh yeah,
it's like
you're
a superhero. You're a superhero and I'm a sidekick. You're Mr. Timbit and I'm Timbit boy. Oh look up in the sky! Like it's Mr. Timbit and Timbit boy.
Yeah, and said no one would ever drive 3 hours to Michigan or ask their dad to do so. Just to get Timbit.
I did not ask my dad to drive all the way to Michigan. He already had to go to Michigan, and I looked up to see if there was any Tim Hortons around where he's going. Asshole.
Whatever. And no, this is not a Dylan Gunther reference.
Change the GU to a B.
Yeah.
I think we said that in the podcast, so if you want to know what that backstory is, go watch the Intermedio podcast, episode 1.
Intermedio.
Whatever.
Podcast.
So let's get through all of the scoring, and then we'll talk about the referees and all the other shenanigans we had to deal with. Morgan Riley gives us some false hope. 5:46 into the first. Nyes and Tavares, because Nyes has been amazing since
he's been very nice. He's been very nice.
And Toronto gets the 1-0 lead. And 26 seconds later, Anthony Cirelli kills out hope, and they tie it up with Hagel and Perbix getting the assists.
Of course, it'd be Nick Perbix, eh?
Yep, Nick Perbix. And we're going to have to go to another guy who's just playing his first playoff hockey game, who broke the tie, Michael.
First full playoff hockey game, because he was in that little fortunate one.
Michael Eastmont, with Bogo and Ian Cole getting the assists, and the Lightning 4 minutes into the second take a 2-1 lead. And Ilya Samsonov, what the actual fuck was that?
No, the defense was a little soft on that play. But honestly, I think that's the worst goal Samsonov has allowed all series. Until the next one, we'll get to that.
Next? Oh, Vegas.
But, yeah.
You have to fill me in. Third period, Nick Paul on just... Again, where the hell was Samsonov on this goal? He was, like, all twisted around. Like, his glove was almost facing the net. It was just awful. Colton and Ace Mount get an assist, so Ace Mount 2 points in his first game back, his first actual full game back. And
and I was talking about the Nick Paul goal, where what are you doing, Samson? Yeah, the Ace Mount goal was a little soft. It just went 5-hole. Should not be going in. But the Nick Paul goal, oof, Maroon.
It's awful. Just over 5 minutes, or just under 5 minutes later, they put a goalie early because you never know. They've made multiple comebacks before. Austin Matthews catches a beautiful heads-up play right in front of the net. Like, you could not have done that better. Did I just say better? Better. And Austin Matthews.
We're too in on talking Ben.
Yeah, Austin Matthews makes it 3-2, and we're like, oh, we're gonna do this again. I messaged Josh. We're tying this and going to overtime, and then Matthews scores, and I sent him an eye emoji. And we did put some pressure on. It was definitely, we didn't give up after we couldn't get it. We just kept putting pressure on. We just couldn't break Vasilevsky. And then
which is definitely a better way to go into Game 6.
Yeah. And then, Killorn didn't have the icing on the cake, but there was nothing going to happen with 5 seconds left unless a 200-foot goal makes sense. But yeah, we gotta regroup in Game 6. This is probably, you know what? This is in that kind of game too. And this is gonna be really. I don't know if you're gonna like this. This is the best we've played since Game 2.
I would actually agree because, Game 3 was
lucky.
They played well for the first 5 minutes, and then after they scored that one goal,
shit the bed.
Well, they let the Lightning tie right away, and then they took the lead. The shots were 5-5. Since then, the Lightning ran the Leafs show up and down the ice until the Leafs pulled the goalie. In Game 3. Game 4, well, they went down 4-1.
There's a couple things we got to talk about this game. Again, the referee. Then some of these calls were actually against the Leafs, and even I think this is there was so many. I can name 3 calls right off the bat against Tampa that should have been called. Let's start off with the Giordano call. That wasn't even on the hit. It was the aftermath that he got the penalty on. He should have been a 5, or at least a 2 for a cross-check.
Yeah.
Double minor, because it would have been double minor. Would have been a 5. It would, let's say Hedman hit him and it's a cross-check. Then he gets roughing afterwards. Is that a double minor? It's a 5-on-3, or is it just a 4-minute power play?
It's the same player. It's a 4-minute power play.
Okay. So it would have been 4-minute power play.
Well, it's not going to be a double minor because there was no blood.
There was a high stick on Nyes that, of course, went uncalled. There was 2 tripping that easily, I saw one of the people wipe down the quarter. It wasn't a Marner. That was earlier. It was third period, I think. Right in the right corner of Vasilevsky. I don't remember who that was.
And I would like to comment on this.
He slipped on a banana peel.
So, Greg Wyshynski, a reporter for ESPN, I think, got to speak to some NHL officials. And what they said absolutely blew my mind. They just said, "Oh, we're missing them. We don't see them. We miss the calls."
Bullshit.
All of these calls, and this is not only during the Leaf series. This is almost every single series. There is no way they're missing all that.
Excuses.
It's just, I don't know. It's just the fact that excuses? Oh, yeah. Every single series. The Bruins series had pretty bad officiating, especially in Game 5, but that was Wes McCauley.
All right, and then let's move on to the one that is probably the most important of the night. Not really most important, but the most important for one team. The Vegas Golden Knights beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-1. Jesse Pollock is obviously pissy, but
because he has to lick a carpet.
Are also the first team in the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs to move on to the second round. As long as they don't play San Jose, I think they should be fine.
And they're pretty safe because I think the Sharks are are closer to the Bedard race than the
and Barclay Goodrow is in the East. So
yeah, and Barclay Goodrow is also not making it past the first round this year because he's on the New York Rangers and they like to blow things, just like the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And here's something I wanted to say quickly: the first 2 goals were both in the first minute of the first 2 periods. Chandler Stevenson, 50 seconds in. Stone and John Hayden. Brett Howden get the assist, 1-0 Vegas. And then in the second period, Mark Stone, 42 seconds in, with Pietrangelo getting the assist. And then it was Carlson about 4 minutes into the second. Stevenson doubles down, 8:37 to the second. And Connor breaks the shot with 14 minutes left in the third. Or 15 minutes, into the third.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Jesse's Twitter, and Bart Allen tweeted, "The Jets are done, and someone has to lick the carpet at TSN." And then it's just a video of Jesse not moving, laying on the couch.
All right, let's move on to our predictions for our preview and predictions for tomorrow's Game 6s. We have 4 of them on tap. Hurricanes and the Islanders.
And a little comment. 7 of the 8 series have at least a Game 6.
Yeah, Vegas is
great.
Vegas is the only one that will not go Game 6. There was a potential that all 7 of 8 games go 7. Didn't we have that a few years ago? Didn't we have them, I think, 2018? Can you look that up while I'm doing a preview of this first game?
I can look that up, but I remember we had a lot of Game 7s last year in the first round.
Maybe it was last year. Let's go.
We had 5.
Let's go through the previews. Let's start with the Hurricanes Islanders in New York. Surprisingly, we were looking at FanDuel earlier because I was going to bet on the Lightning because they won, so it's a win-win. If we lose, if we beat the Lightning in 6, then we win the series. If the Lightning beat the Leafs, then I double my money pretty much. And we were looking at the stats, and even though the New York Islanders are at home, and the Hurricanes are a better team, the Hurricanes are not the favorite. The Islanders are, I think they're Hurricanes are plus 120, I think.
Well, the Islanders, I went to Game 3.
Series is
the crowd certainly gets in it.
All right, he was at UBS for 3.
Yeah, there are a lot of arenas that are sometimes they're nervous, but they get loud pops of when the goals are scored. That's usually Toronto. And then there are those arenas who find things to say, whether they're winning 5-0 or losing 5-0 or whatever's going on, and try to be loud anytime. The New York Islanders are one of them.
All right, prediction scores. 3-2 Islanders. Overtime.
We're getting shades of Anthony Beauvillier 2021, eh?
Yep. B.
Restart the entire thing. Cut that out.
I am not cutting anything out.
Cutting it out. I'm commenting on that video.
No. You can comment whatever the hell you want. I'm keeping B in. C.
Z.
I said C, not Z.
I know. Well, we're going to get the end of the alphabet anyway. I want to say letters that piss you off.
Okay, Mr. Tim.
Whatever.
What's your prediction?
1-0 Islanders and 7 overtimes. I'm kidding. 4-3 Hurricanes.
They close out the series because they're up 3-2. Let's head on to Boston, Florida. They're back in Florida. Matthew Tkachuk. If you're a goaltender, time to go, Linus Ullmark. It starts at 6:30, 7:30 Eastern. Bruins looking to close out in Florida, or are we going back to Boston for 7? I would love to see a Game 7 in Boston because it wouldn't be the first time we see a Game 7 in Boston, but Game 7 in Boston, it just hits different. No matter who they play, it's an electric stadium, and there's nothing better than it.
Well, we're going to get a Game 7 in Boston because I think the Panthers are going to win this game 4-2. And we have a story related to that, if you want to say it.
I'm actually going to say Boston's going to close it out. It all depends on who Florida starts. If they start lying, then... Speaking about Alex Stein, did you see was it Kaplan asking Paul Maurice right next to Alex Lyon why he decided to start Bob over Alex? Like, let me right in his face, 2 feet away from him, asking him, hey, why didn't you start him over him?
That is Leah Hextall level.
I'm pretty sure that was Kaplan. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know who it was. I just know it's something Leah Hextall would do.
Anyway, I'm gonna say I'll flip it around for you. I'll say 4-2 Boston.
Oh yeah, only if Olmark does his job.
Yes. Move on to the West, because now we have to do the 2 West. The Dallas Stars looking to close out their series in Minnesota at 8:30, 9:30 Eastern, which is in just over 18 hours.
Not to be confused with 18 seconds,
Yeah,
but
that's a different conversation for a different day.
Yeah, that is a reference to the Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 1 of the season.
You know what? Back-to-back sevens for Dallas. Minnesota's going to win 2-1 if Philip Gustafson starts. And if Philip Gustafson's going to get outshot 46-29. But he's going to stand tall and win 2-1, and we're heading back to Dallas for 7.
This is definitely going to be a goalie battle, and if this is not going to be a goalie battle, the possible Game 7 will be. This is going to be in Minnesota. The Minnesota crowd knows how to get into it. Wild shut them out 3-0.
They get hit back for Game 5. Didn't Dallas shut them out 4-0?
Well, that was an Ottinger shutout.
Oh, yeah. So they get payback.
But this is going to be a Gustafson shutout.
Yeah, as long as you don't spell Eric Gustafson right, you should be fine. And then last
this one's actually spelled with a VA.
A VA or a VEH?
EH. I'm Canadian.
And then last one, we will obviously do our Intermedio recap after these games tonight. But
I'm gonna correct him. Intermedio recap.
The Seattle Kraken lead the series 3-2 over the defending champions Colorado Avalanche in Seattle. As much as I absolutely love the Colorado Avalanche, the Seattle Kraken are gonna defeat them 5-2. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, well, we already have a history of Tyler hating the Avalanche for a reason, if you want to tell me.
I will say it after we're done with these games, because this is the last game we got to do anyway. So 5-2. Yeah. 5-2 Seattle.
7-2, eh? I'm going to...
5-2. I said 5.
Yeah, but I think the Kraken could definitely close it out. Cale Makar probably should have been suspended more than one game, because that's a dirty hit. And Kyle Clifford back last year laid the same kind of hit on Ross Colton and got suspended 2 games. I would argue that Makar's was more dangerous. But yes, I understand it's Kyle Clifford and Cale Makar who's the better player. But I'm just saying this should be a 2-game suspension. It's not going to matter because the Kraken are going to win this game 3-1.
All right, let's go and just talk about my reason why I quote-unquote hate the Avalanche.
Not even quote-unquote. You actually do hate the Avalanche because of it.
If they went on to win the Cup, I'd be perfectly fine with it. If they lose,
I like them when they beat Tampa.
All right, so the story behind me hating the Avalanche is about... When was this? Like November, I'd say. Sometime in the middle of the season.
No, it was around Christmas.
Middle of the season, I decide, fuck it, I'm going to go on FanDuel, and I'm going to put $10, or I think it was $10, on the Avalanche to beat the team that doesn't exist, the Arizona Coyotes.
No, it was the other way around. The Coyotes to beat the Avalanche, I think.
Yeah, my bad. The Coyotes to beat the Avalanche 6-4. 6-4.
I'm going to find the day of it. I want to find it.
Yeah, go look it up, because then it'll be nice. So October... I don't want to say October. I bet them they would win 6-4 over the Colorado Avalanche, and it was 6-3. Was a score about 2? Oh, it was 5-3 with like 3 minutes left. Keller.
Yeah, it was December 27th.
Oh, literally almost exactly 5 months to the day. 4 months to the day. January, February, March, April.
Yeah.
Actually, this episode is exactly 4 months later after I lost that bet.
So, oh my god, this is perfect.
I believe Keller scored to make it 6-3, and it was 2.5 minutes left, and the Avalanche was just putting as much pressure on. And if Colorado would have scored one fucking goal, it would have paid out $1,200. The final score, 6-3. See you tomorrow. No kidding. And then I went on a huge streak of losing, but today was the first time I won a bet. But I mean, Josh, me and you every year, we should bet on only the other team if we're up in the series of Toronto, because you don't want to lose your money, but since you're only spending $5, it doesn't really matter. But
what can you buy for $5 these days with inflation?
50 Timbits.
Only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays. So, actually, by the time it's the next Timbit Tuesday, the Leafs are going to be playing their last game.
They already have played their last game by then, because Game 7 is Monday. That's what I just
said. Anyway, so
they're not going to be playing. They already have played it by then.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't have anything else to talk about. We have
I don't know what else to say.
We have 4 games on tonight. See you in probably about maybe around 24 hours from now, probably a little bit less. I'm going to keep it as IntermedioRecaps or IntermedioRecaps, whatever. I don't think I'm going to put IntermedioRecaps and previews because it's just way too long of a title. But to the 12 people that are going to see this, Timbit.